Hey, thanks for joining me. So I went out this morning to walk the dogs, came out here to a local park, and just got some time walking the dogs in. We have, I think you've seen him in one of the other videos. Charlie, come here, buddy. This is Charlie. Charlie's a flat-coated retriever that showed up at our home, and he wasn't chipped, and he was kind of sick. Someone put a shock collar on him, electric shock collar, which I got rid of, and so we got him all back to health, and he's really having a good time. I'd never seen a flat-coated retriever. I think it's a breed that's more common in England, and but he's a super dog, very lovable, very intelligent, and he's just a lot of fun. So, and he's been a great companion to Riley, who really needed a playmate. So anyway, came out here to walk the dogs and just kind of, have a good time. And when I'm out and about, one of the cameras that I'll always bring with me is going to be one of my Olympus Pen cameras. So either the EP1 or the EP5, I'll always have one of these with me. And so this morning I wanted to talk about why I believe that the Olympus Pen series of cameras is still a very viable and very popular option in 2025. And I think the reasons for that are the same reasons that made these cameras popular when they were introduced. The EP1, like this one, was introduced in 2009. Then there was an EP2, an EP3, an EP5. They skipped 4. I've mentioned in other videos the number 4 in Japanese sounds evidently very similar to the word death, so they kind of skip over that number. And so we have the EP5, and then they skipped 6 for some reason. I think there's another number, sounds like something, name kind of thing going on. So they skipped over to 7. They've used the number 6 in other cameras though, so I'm not sure about that. But so the EP5 though, I think is the where the EP series kind of peaked. The EP7, they took some features away. I think the EP7, they removed the ability to put a external viewfinder on it and an EVF, electronic viewfinder. And I think it went to more plastic construction, as I understand it. But the EP5 is a fantastic camera, and it's not meant to be a review of any of these cameras in particular, but just as illustration: 16 megapixel, 5-axis image stabilization, Wi-Fi, focus peaking. Just a lot of great features that are in the EP5 that make it a very usable camera. And the EP1 series, the very first one, that's one of these. It's very stripped down, doesn't have a tilt screen or anything. It's only 12 megapixel, but still these are really popular. It's metal, construction. It's a very durable camera. 12 megapixels is enough to give you all the image quality you need for most uses, and they're very compact. And there's also the EPL line. I don't have an EPL camera anymore. If you watch some other videos, I'll link some in the description down below. The camera that actually brought me back to photography was an Olympus Pen EPL5. And the EPL5 is in a lot of ways similar to the EP5. Obviously, it's smaller, lighter, got a few less features. The image stabilization, I think, is only 3 or 4 levels instead of 5, or axis instead of 5. It is 16 megapixel. Doesn't have focus peaking. It's got a tilt screen, and you can also swing the screen around. It's either the top or the bottom, I don't remember which. That allows you to use it kind of like a vlogging camera. EPL5 is still a really popular camera today as well. And then there's the EP, the whole EPL series starts at EPL1, goes to EPL10. And I think the EPL10 is the one that's still available in Japan. I don't think they sell it here in the States. Olympus hasn't brought it here, I guess just because there doesn't seem to be that much demand for it here in the States. And yet the EP series, the Pen series in general, remains pretty popular. The prices remain pretty robust, and if you look at my views on my videos, the videos that get the most number of views are about the EP5. I mean, hands down, all my videos that include something about the EP5 get more views than anything else. So I know that there's some popularity for these cameras, and like I say, I use mine regularly, and I think that a lot of the things, like I said, that made these cameras popular in the very beginning when they were first introduced, keep these cameras popular today. I mean, they're small, They're light, they're compact, they're beautifully made. They're very capable cameras. You can get pro quality results with one of these cameras without a problem. You know, they're affordable these days. They're just really affordable cameras. I should mention there's also an EPM series, the mini series. There's only a couple of cameras in that series. I think the EPM 1, which is a lot like an EPL 1, just the controls are simpler and a few less features. And then there's the EPM 2, which is about like an EPL 5. It's a 16 megapixel, but again, simpler menus and controls and a little less in terms of features. But all these cameras are very affordable. The EP5s, I see these on eBay. I was looking the other day, and $300 to $400 for a body. And for a camera with the features that this has, that's, you know, it's a pretty good deal. The EPL5, $150 to $200-ish, somewhere in that range. And the EPM2, which is, again, similar to the EPL5, is in about that same price range. And so, you know, definitely, you know, and I'm not saying that these cameras are going to replace your, you know, full frame mirrorless camera or DSLR or whatever camera you might use for more professional quality work. That's not where these cameras are going to find their main use. Where they're really going to shine is, you know, when you're traveling, you need something compact, or if you're just out and about on town. You know, I love this little EP1 with the 17 millimeter. And I mentioned I might buy, the prices are really good on them right now. I might have to look into another EPL5. It's got the 16 megapixels. It's got a lot of the stuff that the EP5 has. And pairing that with like the 17 millimeter f2.8 Olympus pancake lens would just make a great in your pocket, carry around with you everywhere, small, compact. You know, if I was into street photography, a camera like the EPL5 or the EP5 both have that tilt screen with either one of the compact lenses like the 17-2.8 or this 20 millimeter f1.7 Panasonic lens tilt screen. You can shoot at waist level. You know, waist level cameras are all the rage right now, and you can use the tilt screen on one of these like a waist level camera. People in front of you don't really realize that you're taking their picture because you don't have the camera up in front of your face pointing at them. And so using that tilt screen, kind of looking down at the screen, taking pictures, you really don't draw as much attention. Another lens that would be really good for that is the 14 millimeter Panasonic pancake lens. It's a, you know, obviously a 28 millimeter equivalent. I think if I was into street photography, one of these cameras would really be high on my list for that use. I think it'd be a fantastic camera. So anyway, not a very long video this morning. I just wanted to kind of talk about the Olympus Pen series of cameras. The used market on them remains pretty strong. There's still a lot of demand for them. I don't guess there's enough demand in terms of what Olympus sees to continue with them. And that may be partly because they're not focusing on that part of their market. These days, they're more into the outdoor, birding, macro, that kind of part of the photography market. That's where they're really focusing their attention and their efforts. And that's fine. I wish they would rethink bringing back some of the EP series cameras. I mean, I would love to see a remake of the EP5 with an updated sensor and a few other improvements, but still keep that quality of construction. There's some great electronic viewfinders that are available for these cameras. The EP1 won't take an electronic. They did make an optical viewfinder that matched the 17 millimeter lens, but most of the other models you can get electronic viewfinders for them. They're so good, the electronic viewfinders, that there's one version of the electronic viewfinder that Leica uses for some of their cameras, like the Leica CL. Their APS-C camera uses an Olympus electronic viewfinder. They've rebranded it, you might say, but there's some people that use the Leica CL but just go buy the Olympus viewfinder because it's cheaper than buying the Leica. So, you know, there's just a lot of really good stuff in one of these cameras. I can't tell you how much I enjoy using this EP5. It's probably one of the cameras I use more than anything else. That and this 20 millimeter f1.7. Anytime I go, you know, out somewhere, the camera goes with me. Anyway, I hope some of that was helpful. If you have any thoughts or questions, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment. I always love hearing from you. And Thanks for watching.